Hey friends, Chelsea O'Brien coming at you here. It is mid-March and it's time for us to start planting our seeds. I'm here with my friend Dina. She is a master gardener and we are planting for spring programming, our Trees, Tracks, Trails, and Trowels program, and all of our learning adventures with the kids. So we want to make sure we've got food for our CSA, which, by the way, there is still room in our CSA program if you wanted to get in on the fun through our market. But we're going to be growing for the community, we'll be growing for programming, and we've got a lot of planting to do. So let me show you what we're doing today. Because it is still early in the season, we like to start with our cold crops. So things like radishes are perfect to be planting if you have a greenhouse, or you could even start them inside. Radishes, carrots, look at all of these fun different types of carrots that we're planting. We're putting them pretty heavy in the ground. We are going to anticipate that we will have to thin all of these carrots in our raised beds, which will be something our students can learn how to do. Look at all these different fun types of carrots that we have. So carrots, and then spinach is also another really good cold crop. Spinach, kale, lettuces. Dina's going to be showing us here how we're planting in ground. Now, there's lots of different ways to plant your seeds. You can do them inside on a windowsill. You can have them in our green room, which actually is being grown under lights. But we are very fortunate to have our healing hoop house, and this space allows us to get an extra zone. We are zone 5 here in Michigan, and we are able to plant outside really not until end of April, early May. A lot of people will say wait until Mother's Day. But because we have a greenhouse, we get an extra zone, which means we get an extra about 4 weeks. So you can see what Dina's doing here. She's taking these tiny, tiny little seeds. Spinach plants have very tiny seeds, and we are actually just loosely seeding them in the soil. You can see she's not even going to pat down really hard because they're tiny little seeds. They just want to get started on the top, and we are heavily seeding these. Why? Because A, not all of them are going to germinate. B, because we like to thin these out and eat them as microgreens. And then also because some of these seeds are from last year or even the year before, which means the germination rate may not be as high. So fresh, healthy, newer seeds will have a higher germination rate, but older seeds will still grow. They just might take longer, or they may not grow as many from the seed packet. So we're going to ensure that we have a great harvest here today, and we're going to heavily seed these raised beds. I'm going to show you what else we're doing. Thank you, Dina. Here, let's watch you just pour these in. Now notice, again, these are tiny, tiny little seeds. So she's just shaking them in. She's not going to try to plant them one at a time. We're just shaking them in the soil, and we're heavily seeding these, and that's fine. We can always thin them, or we can eat them as baby greens. And any extra, of course, we give to our bunnies, so nothing goes to waste at the farm. Thank you, Dina. That's great. Let's go over here on this side. This is our last raised bed that we're going to plant today. These are going to be a nice variety of lettuces. Also a cold crop that we're going to heavily seed. We're almost going to overplant this raised bed. Now, if you're noticing the soil, I'd love to just share a little bit with you. A good planting mix is going to have a nice balance of NPK, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. And this planting mix we got from Bourdines. Yay, we love Bourdines. And this planting mix is perfect for doing our seed starts. It also, you'll notice, has a little bit of these white, they almost look like crystals. It's called vermiculite. That vermiculite allows for our planting mix to be nice and light, so it's not so heavy in our raised beds. It also helps to absorb water. There is peat moss in here as well that helps to maintain the right amount of moisture. Raised beds are a wonderful way to grow because it's going to allow for perfect drainage. You don't want to have a lot of wet soil when you're planting seeds. It's going to drain down, but the peat moss and all that rich organic matter is still going to hold on to the moisture. So you're not going to have so much drainage that it gets really dry. It's a fun day for us here at the farm. We love our planting days. You can see all of our raised beds here. We've got lots and lots of planting to do. Like I say, we're going to start with our cold crops, and then we're going to move on to planting our pizza garden. I'll show you a video when we do that. Thanks, friends. Hope to see you soon. You know we dig it.